Fexophobia,
Yeah.
the fear of wasps.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, chronophobia, the fear of the future.
Technophobia.
Technophobia, the fear of technology. I think
Oh,
my
Lord.
mom had that. She still had AOL. Okay, what is this? The fear of loud noises.
Yeah.
Lygrophobia.
Mm-hmm.
Shadophobia, the fear of others' hair. What?
Yes.
The fear of fat people?
Cacomorphobia.
Phobia. What?
Yep.
I'm not fat, I'm big boned. You can't slim down bones, stupid.
Bathyphobia, the fear of depths, lakes, tunnels, caves.
Like,
Well, I want to skydive. I do want to skydive.
But what's the purpose of it besides the adrenaline of the fear of being almost about to die?
I want the wind to blow my hair. Omphallophobia, the fear of belly buttons. Well, you don't have to see everybody's belly button.
No. But maybe when they do see them, then they freak out a little bit.
Okay.
They do.
Pogonophobia, the fear of beards.
Yes. I don't know.
I can see that. I can
Really?
see it, like, yeah, if someone's
What about
violent.
Santa Claus and stuff?
Oh, well, he looks creepy.
The kids love Santa Claus.
Yes, sitting on his lap.
The kids supposed to love Santa Claus, though, I thought. Hello.
Oh my gosh, I got so distracted. Oh my goodness. Welcome to Urban Tunes for Change with me, Dr. Lisa LaCon. How are you all doing? Thank you to my handy dandy producer, Kurt Nice. Oh my gosh, I'm like so obsessed with something else. I have this whole console here. I'm like getting so distracted. But anyway, welcome to Urban Tunes for Change with me, Dr. Lisa LaCon. You have entered into the Urban Suite. And guess what? We will be right back after these messages. Stay. You are entering the Urban Suite with Dr. Lisa LaCon. Let's talk about urban issues plaguing our community.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Let's talk about mental health. All right, so we are rocking and rolling with these delusions that we're talking about, okay? So we're talking about tonight somatic delusions. So without really getting into the nitty-gritty of somatic delusions, somatic means basically your physical body. Soma means your body outside of your mind. So we're talking about someone who is preoccupied with health issues when it regards their body. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to be right back, take a quick break. I think we're going to go and do a BMI spot so you can learn more about who we are, Blessed Ministries Incorporated. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Urban Tunes for Change Network is sponsored by Blessed Ministries Incorporated, BMI, the premier workforce development agency in the state of New Jersey. We are here to serve you. If you have a history of being on parole, if you are on probation, if you are an adult with a disability, if you are a youth with a disability and you're looking for employment, come check us out at 973-733-WORK. So again, BMI sponsors Urban Tunes for Change Network. All right, so I was getting distracted with this, and I have to say thank you, Melanin Sisters. A big shout out to Dr. Lisa, thank you so very much. Thank you for tuning in. And I believe you actually are not only a subscriber, but oh yes, you send us donations every month. Thank you so very much. Where's my bell? Where is my bell? Oh my gosh, here we go. Thank you. And then she says that this is a good show. So thank you, Melanin Sisters. Let's see if I can show that. I think this is such a good show. Thank you so very much. 100% of the proceeds will go towards Blessed Ministries Incorporated. We are a workforce development agency serving the state of New Jersey. We work with those that are on parole, those that are on probation. We work with adults with disabilities. We work with youth with special needs to get them employed. So I just want to say thank you to Melanin Sisters for being a champion, for being such a wonderful urbanite. Thank you. All right, so let's get into this delusion. All right, so pull up what a delusion is, the definition, so my urbanites can see that. All right, so these are fixed beliefs that are not amenable to change in light of conflicting evidence. So basically, these are fixed false beliefs that an individual has, and in spite of evidence showing the opposite, the person will not believe you because it's all in their mind. These are fixed beliefs that are not, listen to this, amenable to change. They're not open to change because in their mind, and I'll use Diane this week, in Diane's mind, it is a reality. It is not a delusion, according to Diane. It's a fixed belief, and anything that is fixed is very hard to unfix. So let's get into somatic delusions. So Diane would be preoccupied with her health. So I don't know if you all remember, but there was a show that used to come on TLC. It was titled Creatures Inside Me. So unfortunately, yes, parasites can live inside people, but a person with this delusion would be so preoccupied and thinking that perhaps parasites are eating away at their organs, internal organs. So they would be so preoccupied with their health. That's all they talk about. That's all they believe. Something is eating away at my heart. Something is eating away at my liver. Something is eating away at my brain, when in actuality, there is nothing there. Now, we talked about bizarre delusions as well. Now, the difference between a bizarre delusion is this. Remember, I said bizarre delusions are any type of delusion where it is almost impossible for anything to happen, but the person has a fixed belief that it is happening. So say, for instance, if a person with a bizarre delusion has traits of a somatic delusion, they would say something like this: oh my gosh, something is wrong with my brain. And then these people came in while I was watching Jeopardy and they cut open my head, took out my brain, and exchanged it for a good brain. That's bizarre. So somatic delusion would be just, oh my gosh, something is wrong with my brain, something inside. I don't know what's happening. And then they may go to the doctor. The doctor may run tests, but guess what? There's nothing to show on the test. So then they may say, well, Diane may say, you know what? Maybe I'll go to another doctor. And then another, and then another, and then another, and then another, because they really have this belief that something is affecting their body. And again, the word soma means body, your physical body. This is separate than your mind, the psychological properties that we have. This is talking about your physical body. whether it's your legs, whether it's your fingers, whether it's something. They always are preoccupied that something is wrong with them. Now, delusions is so interesting. Remember, we talked about things that can pretty much trigger a delusion in a sense, like their onset. So I talked about someone being diagnosed with schizophrenia, someone being diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder. So you have also these disorders that can happen from a chemical imbalance. That's number one. Number two, these delusions can be triggered by indulging in substances, whether it's alcohol, whether it's cocaine, whether it's marijuana, some type of illicit substance, an illicit use disorder, alcohol use disorder, opioid use disorder. You can start to believe things. And then also trauma. Trauma is a pathway, or can be a pathway, to having a delusion. So you have these three types of pathways. You have one, chemical imbalance. Then you have two, you have the induction or introduction of these substances to your brain. And then you have trauma. And what happens is, the reason why they say that having or using drugs, any type of substance, is a brain disease, because what happens is that that drug hijacks your brain. So what happens is, guess what? You can have a fixed, faulty belief in something that is not there, that is not reality, because your brain has been altered in such a way. Again, trauma, it can be alcohol-induced substance use disorder, and it also can be a chemical malfunction stemming from, if you have been diagnosed with schizophrenia, if you've been diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder, even sometimes bipolar. So that's somatic delusion, basically in a nutshell. And because this is dealing with health, dealing with things of, your health, your physical well-being, this type of delusion is very small, very small. So a lot of people do not have this delusion. Some people may believe, as you get older, I'm getting sick and, I don't feel well. You know what? Go to the doctor, because you do have to listen to your body. But people with somatic delusion, they're not listening to their body. They're listening to just their mind. And so that's basically it. I can't go any more further into it, because that's somatic delusion. Curtis, you have any questions about somatic delusion?
Well, I would say, is how does does this differ from someone that, like, you're saying that the bizarre delusions versus someone that, make that distinction again
All right.
between how, like, the difference between somebody believing that there's creatures crawling inside their body or somebody taking their brain out. Why is that not a bizarre delusion? Like, that the person.
Well, because it is possible for things to crawl inside your body. People have parasites that can crawl inside their bodies. So it can happen, and it has happened. Now, for a bizarre delusion, they would say that things are crawling inside my body. Someone came in my room and took them all out. They cut my arm open and took them out, but there's no evidence of a scar. There's no evidence of blood. There was no doctor, and you're in your house.
Yeah. But I mean, like, also, like, with the somatic delusion, there's really no evidence either, like, that there's stuff crawling in them or anything like that. But it's just that it's possible.
That is correct. It is possible. Yes, it is possible that things can crawl inside you.
And so
Which is
how does
terrible.
so only after medical treatment can they determine whether or not a person has an actual delusion or not? So you have to
That
go
is,
through you might have to go through a bunch of screening and
yeah,
because they keep
absolutely.
saying that it's something true, but and then they're just gonna charge you for getting the x-ray
Right. It
or
can be very expensive. It can be very expensive. And to that point, horrible, it can play horribly on your finances.
Mm,
This is one delusion that I think will have the greatest financial impact,
mm, mm,
because you will go to not only doctors, sometimes you may have to go to several specialists that
mhm.
may not be within your insurance.
And they're just gonna take your money.
And they're just going to take your money because they may not, they may not have evidence of who you are. They may not, say for instance, if you don't see or haven't seen a therapist and you're
Mm,
not in a network for that doctor to read your medical history, that doctor is only going to go on face value what you say.
yeah. So it's not their fault if they actually have to, if they
Right.
make you go through all of those expensive tests and everything like that.
Right. Now,
It's
if
like,
the person is in a network and the network that Diane has all of her medical history, the doctor will probably say, "Oh my gosh, okay, this person has this, that has been there, and nothing has done this, and nothing has," and then that may be a red flag
no,
for them to investigate further to see if this person does have a somatic delusion.
all right. Now, is this like just a further advanced stage of like a hypochondriac? Like a person
I
that
would say so.
like just feels sick all the time or whatever? Like
I would say yes.
now now hypochondriac, that's not a delusion, right? That's a what is that?
Well, it can be, yes. Because, say, for instance, if they read something like, okay, so if you have this symptom, if you have that symptom, that particular person will like, I have that, I have that, I have that symptom. Oh my gosh, I have that. I have all four symptoms. So that means I have X, Y, and Z.
Well, see,
But
I actually I hate those commercials though because every time they say, "Does your knees hurt?" or "Does your back?" Like, yeah, well, my knees hurt. Like they giving you the suggestion that something might be wrong. So, like, sometimes I don't know if that's always the person's fault. They kind of like tell you, like, "Do you ever feel discomfort in your joints or anything?" It's like, yeah, I do.
right.
So, but then they say, "Oh, it's this thing. You could be suffering from this," and then you think
Right.
you have that, but you're just misdiagnosing yourself
That is
versus
correct.
like having a delusion. You're just kind of maybe misdiagnosing yourself, like, and that's a little different, right?
Well, right. It's not as extreme as a person with a delusion.
Hmm.
Because, say, for instance, you can misdiagnose yourself, go to the doctor. The doctor may say, okay, you don't have this, and then you accept it.
Oh,
The
yeah,
person with the delusion, they don't
it's,
accept it because it's
it's
a
a fix.
fixed
Yeah.
belief.
All
So,
right. Well, that makes sense. And by the way, I have that missing person when you're ready.
okay. So, one of the things that you can do with this delusion, like any other delusion, depending on if you see a medical professional, such as a psychiatrist, definitely seek therapy. That is key. Seek a good qualified therapist that has experience in working with people with delusions. And then if you are, say, for instance, a friend, family member, you kind of just want to listen to them. You want to avoid disrupting them when they're talking about all of these elements that's inside of them. And you want to redirect the situation as well as be supportive. Be supportive. And the support may look like, okay, well, if you're experiencing this, perhaps seek a doctor that you trust. Seek a medical professional that you trust, because it's going to be very challenging to go beyond that fixed belief that they have. It really is. Now, if they are seeing a psychiatrist, there may be, depending on the onset. So the onset of someone with schizophrenia may be different than the onset of someone that has this trauma. Onset of that has this, they may take the medication route. The person that has this as a result of trauma, they may seek cognitive behavioral therapy route and not the medication route. So you have to look at, okay, how did this person, how did Diane have this diagnosis of having somatic delusions?
Can you also say like people are like coached into it, like maybe from a parent or something like that, telling them that they're sickly during their life, or like you've seen
Oh
those
yeah,
stories
absolutely.
like where they give the
Absolutely.
person
Environmental.
environmental.
That's another one. Yes, environmental as well. Without so much of the trauma.
Yeah, but that's
Without
traumatic.
so much of the trauma. But that is traumatic. That's, yeah, it is traumatic. Being told over and over again that you're sick, you have a bad heart, you're going to do this, you're going to die, you're going to blah, 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 blah. You
Yeah.
know,
Because people are always often told like, oh, you have a heart murmur or something like that. Like, what does that even mean? Like should you not exercise? Should you not, do a lot of activity? Or then the person just goes around feeling sick all the time. I don't want to do anything because I know I got a heart murmur.
right. And then guess what? When they see multiple doctors, the doctor will say, no, you're fine. There's no heart murmur. I didn't sense that. And then the person with this delusion will say, I'm not accepting that. I'm going to another doctor. Because I know what my parent told me.
Yeah, right. And when you're confronting somebody, it's hard to tell somebody that they're not feeling sick.
Right.
You're not inside their body.
Right.
So you can't say what makes how the person is feeling.
Right. So yeah, so it's a very interesting delusion. It's a very interesting delusion because, like you said, you can't, you don't know. Like, we experience aches, pains, but does that really mean that there's something chronic happening to our body? I don't know. No.
All right. Well, whenever you're ready for that spot, we can go.
All right. So let's see. The missing person. Yes. So for my Urban Nights, every week when I do a scheduled show, I always have to highlight someone missing. And tonight is no exception. Tonight we are highlighting, let's see, who is she? She has, let's see, what is her name? Oh, pull her up. So I'm coming from my phone, and then I have to put my readers on because I can't see. Her name is Miss Versi from Baltimore, Maryland. Listen, my Be More people, this is a silver alert. A silver alert, meaning that she's over a certain age. We would call her a senior. All right. She's missing. All right. So, issued for Versi Spell. That's her name. Last seen Wednesday in Garrison Liberty Heights area in Baltimore. Versi was reported missing from the 3900 block of Barrington Road. She's 5'5", weighs approximately 140 pounds, and was last seen wearing a black shirt, black leggings, and black shoes. She uses a walker or cane to walk. All right. Anyone who has seen or knows of Versi Spell's whereabouts is advised to call officers at the Northwest District in Baltimore at 410-396-2466 or 911, or you can call 410-877-97BAMFI. I'm going to repeat that number for those that are on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Facebook podcast. The number is 410-396-2466 or 911. Or you can call BAMFI at 877-97-BAMFI, Black and Missing Foundation Incorporated. Let's bring verse spell home safe and sound. All right, so we've been doing a little segment because it's October and they have this October Fear Fest thing always happening. So we stopped on, I believe, something like the fear of beards, the fear of food. I think it was food.
Yeah, fear of food. Fear of food.
Fear of food. So let's go down and see what else is out there.
Oh,
What
Lord.
fears are out there.
Oh, well, yeah. Then you had the fear of crime was the
So yes, the fear of crime. How do you pronounce that?
I have sclerophobia.
Sclerophobia.
Yeah, sclerophobia.
Okay.
I went
and
back a
then
little bit so we can get to see it. There it is.
Sclerophobia. And then you have the fear of cotton balls or plastic foams. Sidonoglobophobia, the fear of cotton balls or plastic foams. And then you have banana phobia.
I don't know.
The fear of bananas.
Well,
Zoophobia.
I guess people can have fear of anything, I guess, right?
Yeah, right. The fear of animals.
That's, that makes sense. There's a lot of animals that are dangerous.
Right.
But moths aren't one of those animals, though.
Right. Motophobia, the fear of moths.
Yeah, right. Oh, Lord.
I don't even want to say this word. The fear of little people.
Right. That's not correct.
Achondroplasiophobia.
Yeah.
Achondroplasiophobia.
And actually, people do have that, though.
I know, but why? I don't know.
It's, it's just in society, like, and then as many times as they have like a little person playing like a scary character, like Chucky or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like they kind of help instill the fear of little people, I think. But then they have those shows to kind of, counteract that, like those little reality shows and stuff.
Right, called Little People.
Right.
Yeah, they have the little people.
Oh, Lord, there's Chucky right there.
Oh, yeah, the fear of dolls, pediophobia,
Which
the fear
makes
of
sense
doctors. What is that? Itrophobia?
Yeah.
The fear of cockroaches. Castoridophobia. Okay. All right. So that's where we're going to stop this week. The fear of cockroaches.
or even on that next one, the fear of being forgotten and not.
Oh, the fear of being forgotten or not remembering things. Aphthosaugophobia.
That was good. That was pretty good. That was a good one. I mean, like the way you pronounced that, you did that pretty good, I think.
Oh, dang, that's a sad one.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right, so my urbanites, remember the time. Okay, anyway, remember, if you know someone that may present with this delusion, what did I say? I said you have to just listen to them, right? That's number one. I'm going to go down my list and I'm going to read off my list because I don't want to forget. You need to avoid disrupting them. You want to avoid, just kind of confronting them and be confrontational. You don't want to do that. You want to redirect the situation and you want to be very supportive of them. But this is really, believe it or not, it is a disorder. It really is. Just because you may not have heard about it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. So it's out there. There's someone that has it. So yes. So any more questions, Curtis?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I'm just a little upset that we didn't get a cameo by Miles today.
Oh, he left. He said enough of you jive time turkeys. I've been waiting here and I left. And then I don't even know where Whiskers is.
Miles and Whiskers are MIA today.
They're MIA
Last
today.
last couple of weeks, y'all got to tune into those past couple of shows because you got some cameos with the
I know.
other little family members, the little
I
four-legged
know.
family members.
Well, my
Yeah.
urbanites, I want to say thank you for entering into the Urban Suite with me, Dr. Lisa LaCon, where you laugh, learn, cry, and grow. And remember, I am here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, YouTube, Facebook. So my Facebook pages are Urban Tunes for Change, Blessed Ministries, Dads, and then I'm missing one more.
Hold on.
Yes, I can't think. I'm missing one more because I'm spread out all over the place.
And that's hopefully if it's not hacked and stuff too, you know.
Oh yes, so my Facebook account has been hacked today. Darn it.
Urban
So
Tunes Podcast
don't accept any friend requests
right
now until further notice. So anyway, my urbanites, I'll be back next Tuesday and we're talking about what? Nihilistic delusions.
Yes.
Ooh, that's interesting. I'm not going to tell you what that is wait till next week.
And we'll find out what a nihilistic delusion.
That is correct. All right. So on that note, Molly, take us away.